Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide News on the network service of the NTA. I am Noleen Abel-Ameh. The Progressive Governors Forum has appealed to Nigerians to give the Tinubu's presidency more time to fully launch the path for economic rebirth and prosperity. Chairman of the forum and Governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, made the appeal immediately after a closed-door session that lasted several hours in Abuja. The forum says resolving to test the will of government by embarking on protests to challenge the current economic issues was inconsequential and repugnant to the renewed hope agenda. The Alumni Association of the National Institute, ANI, has expressed profound concern over the impending August 1, 2024 protest. In a statement, the body appealed to the organizers to seek peaceful dialogue on the issues as an alternative solution, even as the government outlines measures to cushion the effects of the current challenges on Nigerians. And to security, the Defense Headquarters says, based on constitutional provisions, it will not fold its arms and watch Nigeria turns to anarchy. Director Defense Media Operations Major General Edward Buba announced this at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
It is another defense media operations briefing to update Nigerians on ongoing armed forces operations across the country. Top is the discovery of plans to hijack the proposed nationwide protest by targeting government and private property.
While the protesters have a right by the Constitution to protest, they do not have a right to galvanize for the unleashing of terror. The military will not stand by and allow anarchy to befall our nation. It is our constitutional responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Similarly, the Defense Headquarters has established a unified security command structure in the Niger Delta region to curb oil theft in line with the recent presidential directives.
Ensuring the transparency of the international oil companies operating in the region, reinforcing surveillance of the oil infrastructures deployed across the Niger Delta region.
The director stressed that troops have upscaled the destruction of terrorists and bandits, logistics and military base, and are also targeting their commanders and foot soldiers. From the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Thank you, Ismail. And in the State House, the President Bola Tinubu has been engaging in some strategic meetings with various groups this Thursday. The first of the meetings was with governors on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, APC. The President also, at the time of filing this report, was in a crucial meeting with traditional rulers from across the country. State House correspondent Musbaud Anwahab reports that though details of the meetings are yet to be disclosed, they are apparently measures to the state of the nation and particularly the protests being planned by some sections of Nigerians. Now, the Conference of Civil Societies has raised concerns against the resurgence of fake news and alleged blackmail on some government and non-government officials with the aim at causing unrest and harassment. Speaking to journalists in Abuja, Chairman Conference of Civil Societies Adams Ataku said this during a roundtable session with stakeholders. A national fake news tracker was launched to address the concerns which have been impactful. He added that a resurgence of the trend targeted at some government officials would not be condoned.
Any heaven for those who are out to give and taint the good image, the progressive image of genuine civil societies who masquerade as civil societies, pocket civil societies who are not known and who have their agenda. They do not belong to civil societies.
The group promised to continue to represent the interests of the public through advocacy and will not allow fake news to thrive to tarnish the image of government at all levels. The President has assented to the Northwest Development Commission Establishment Bill 2024 and the Southeast Development Commission Establishment Bill 2023. Both Development Commission establishment bills were set up to facilitate the reconstruction of roads, houses and business premises destroyed by multidimensional crises, as well as tackle poverty, illiteracy and ecological problems. President Tinubu believes in building the nation on the fulcrum of fairness, equity and unity. Hence, he is committed to ensuring equitable development, inclusive governance, and the provision of qualitative services to all Nigerians. The federal government says its immediate agenda is directed the Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to embark on immediate repairs of embankment of the historic Thomas Dam in Kano State to protect it from collapse as one of the national assets. This was during an oversight visit to the Northwest Zone by the Senate Committee on FEMA. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports on this, but we shall bring you the report in our subsequent bulletin.
Thomas Dam in Nambata local government area of Kano State over the years, serving for irrigation and other water needs of the people. Gully erosion has, however, washed away some parts of the embankment and posing danger to its preservation. The visit by the Senate Committee on FEMA gives hope to the people of Kano State and its surroundings.
We're happy with the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President looking at the issue of maintaining national assets. I think we're going to push and make sure that more funding is made available to FEMA because maintenance is not even a culture as it were, it is an economy.
Senators inspected the failed portion of the service lane of Kazaure Road in Jigawa State, where the committee chairman advised for urgent attention. They also assessed a road project executed by FEMA at Federal Polytechnic Daura, Katsina State.
You have to commend them for using their expertise to judiciously use the meager resources that are available to them.
The Senate Committee was also received by the Chief of Staff to Governor Abubakar Yusuf of Kano State on behalf of the Governor, where areas of collaboration and intervention were discussed. From Kano, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
There we have the report from Muhammad Rabiu Ali from Kano. And moving on, the House of Representatives says it is playing a pivotal role towards enacting laws that will guarantee safety standards in the country. At a public hearing on the bill seeking to establish the National Safety Regulatory Board, the House leadership emphasized that the 10th Assembly is committed to the security and safety of all citizens.
Safety standards and regulations are critical to the socio-economic development and well-being of any nation.
It will also play a pivotal role in raising public awareness and education on safety matters, empowering every Nigerian to contribute to a safety-conscious culture.
At an investigative hearing, the House of Representatives Committee on Basic Examination Bodies has queried the West African Examination Council WAEC National Office for obtaining a 5 billion naira loan without parliamentary approval.
To buy a customized calculator in 2022. Did that loan follow due process? The answer is yes or no.
The answer is yes, but taken from the convention.
The committee asked WAEC to furnish the House with all relevant documents before its next sitting. From Abuja, we shall now take you to Lagos, where Hingino John Adams is waiting to present the next set of reports for us from that axis. Good evening, Hingino.
Noleen. 5 construction workers have lost their lives to a building collapse at number 13 Wilson Mba Street, Aworo Jobe Estate, Maryland, Lagos. Confirming the tragic incident, the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Olufemi Oke Osoyintolu, said the 3-terrace building, which is under construction, caved in, claiming the lives of the workers in the process. A combined team of emergency responders has since commenced rescue operations, leading to the retrieval of 5 persons alive, in which 3 were taken to Bagada General Hospital and 2 ferried to the trauma center after being stabilized. Our correspondent reports that while the race against time is to minimize the environmental impact of the incident, the recovered dead bodies have been handed over to the State Environmental Monitoring Unit for further processing. Search and rescue operation is still ongoing to ground level 0. We will bring you details in our subsequent bulletins. Now, Nigerians must begin to prioritize patriotism and make necessary sacrifices for the nation's development. Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma gave the charge at a public lecture in Lagos, which also had Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu in attendance. Joy Ken Abakwea reports.
We are in an epoch where we need change. The way we have done things in the past has not helped us.
Issues around lack of patriotism, poor value system, and commitment to Nigeria's progress have been a source of concern to many. But Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma, delivering a lecture in Lagos, says true patriotism among Nigerians can be rekindled by promoting unity, good governance, education, and addressing economic challenges. Proposing policy initiatives to address the root causes of despair and mistrust, Governor Uzodinma stressed the importance of ensuring equal opportunities for all citizens, regardless of their background or connections.
Look at the current policies of the new administration. Let us not be aggrieved by the actions of the past. Let us evaluate the present realistically and pragmatically. This task falls not just on the government, but to every Nigerian. We must each play our part in rebuilding trust, in promoting unity, in rekindling the flames of patriotism among Nigerians.
For the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the challenges facing Nigeria can be overcome by determination and commitment to progress.
The partnership and the relationship between Imo and Lagos State in your tenure will continue to flourish because we're both people-driven, we're both citizens-inclined, and we're both driven by ensuring that we leave the place we're running better than we met it.
The public lecture was tagged Where Are Nigerians? A Study on Patriotism and Citizenship. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakwea, NTA News.
That's it from Lagos. Nationwide will continue from our Kaduna Network Center after this break.
In a land of peace and...
Welcome. Well, this is Abuja. For his exploits, not only in the literary world, but also the way he inspires humanity as a global citizen, the living legend and winner of the 1986 Nobel Laureate Prize, Professor Wole Soyinka, continues to make immense contributions that will linger from generation to generation. As the iconic professor of literature, Wole Soyinka joins the class of the nonagenarians. His contributions and activism dedicated to human emancipation were brought to bear. Lekon Abonde tells us more on him.
Marathon nature of the pomps, the intrigues and celebrations that characterize the 90th birthday of the grey-haired literary phenomenon, Professor Wole Soyinka gives a perfect picture of the position of reference, respect and honor he occupies in the hearts of people of diverse status in the society.
What we want for ourselves.
But because Soyinka is the firstborn of the creation God,
if Wole Soyinka's parents had suppressed him when he was young and was going after those spirits, he would never have had the imagination to be as productive as he has been.
His life's work is a testament affirming him as a creative genius. His intellectual prowess and his unwavering dedication to the advancement of humanity is without question.
We are celebrating a giant striding not just in the literary world, but also in our nation, in Africa and the world.
The birthday boy and his family members believe the honor will serve as a tonic to fuel more contributions to the development of humanity.
The relationship is actually pertinent to the sense of personal commitment that I have in my work, my occupation.
The lessons of his life, the philosophy and the ideologies that he preaches, which is justice, equity, humanitarianism.
From his primary constituency, the academic world took turns to showcase their skills and creativity, reminiscing the qualities of the literary giant. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
Take you to Benin, where Oduakabong is waiting to deliver the next set of report from that axis. Hello, Oduakabong.
Welcome to Benin. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is calling on political stakeholders in Edo State to help the commission in mobilizing voters to vote during the governorship election and also in sensitizing them about the need to conduct themselves peacefully during the electioneering. The INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner, Edo State, Anumum Onoha, made the appeal during a dialogue with CSOs on peaceful participation of the electorate in the Edo State governorship election. Jude Abugu has the details.
Achieving a peaceful and credible Edo State governorship election has been the objective of various INEC engagements and consultations with various stakeholders. The Commission, in this dialogue with the civil society, is urging the electorate to shun hate speech, fake news, and other actions that trigger political violence.
Election cannot be conducted in an atmosphere that is devoid from peace. It is in that regard we are constantly meeting with the stakeholders to advise us on ways and means of achieving a peaceful, a fair, a credible election.
It's always been our message in NOAA to eschew violence and embrace peace.
Speakers emphasize the role of civil society in strengthening democracy and improving the electoral process.
The Edo election, governorship election, is coming at a time when there are very visible challenges overwhelming the society, which can become hindrances to the smooth and peaceful conduct of the election.
We are reminded that the electorate are the cornerstone of our democracy. The choices they make will shape the future of the state and nation at large.
The dialogue was also a platform for discussing challenges, strategies, and sharing insights on how to achieve a credible and peaceful election in Edo State. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
Beneficiaries of the ongoing free cleft lips and palate surgeries in Edo State want government to extend the gesture to other ailments, which on account of their high cost implication are beyond the reach of the common man. This was their plea to the wife of the Edo State Governor, Betsy Obaseki, at the launch of a week-long free cleft lip and palate surgery medical outreach in Benin. Good luck, Enaini has the details.
Cleft lip and palates are medical conditions causing opening or splits in the roof of the mouth that occurs when the tissue doesn't fuse together during development in the womb. Office of the Governor's Wife, in conjunction with Smile Train International and the Edo Specialist Hospital, is carrying out surgeries to correct deformities in affected children and bring smiles back to their lives. Mrs. Obaseki described the gesture as a restoration of lives, smiles, hope, and a future for the individuals.
This kind of deformity puts people away, they hide, they don't come out. Some children, the parents won't send them to school because of the deformity. You know, some people can't get married because of the deformity. So it's like destroying human life. And so what is happening here today is giving life back to the people.
Medical experts highlight the significance of the event and provide insight into the causes of cleft lip and palate deformities. These include alcohol consumption, inadequate folic acid intake, and environmental influences. Mrs. Gifts Oise is the mother of a child with a cleft lip.
If challenged to feed the child, every day you look at the child and you be like, God, what's happening?
I remain grateful to the Edo State government for giving me this platform.
Observers have described the gesture as new beginnings for many in Edo State, exemplifying the power of community and compassion in transforming lives. In Benin, good luck, Enaini, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin.
Thank you for staying with us on Nationwide. The federal government has reiterated its commitment to enhancing the integrity of the electoral process through policy reforms and collaboration with relevant stakeholders. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, at the Election Integrity Promotion Alliance stakeholders' second round table meeting in Abuja, underscores the importance of integrity of electoral process in engendering the trust of the citizenry in governance. Kenneth Nanim reports that a Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office in the Office of the SGF, Richard Filangwa, stood on behalf of the SGF.
The integrity of elections is fundamental to the legitimacy of governance structures and building of public trust in a democratic process, no doubt. Armed with these facts, stakeholders at this forum are brainstorming, putting into perspective factors that have negatively influenced the electoral process in the country in the past, with the aim of charting a new roadmap towards transparent and credible elections.
It is incumbent upon us as custodians of this process to ensure that every vote counts and every voice is heard without impediment or undue influence.
Others are of the opinion that lawmakers should be elected to operate on a part-time basis. They also believe that with more stringent sanctions in place, training and retraining of security agencies and the deployment of ICT during elections will make the process become more credible.
Collectively, we have a responsibility to come up with innovative strategies, collaborative programs and initiatives that will enhance the sustainability of democracy in Nigeria.
while we discuss our democracy, while we discuss electoral system, we also need to discuss what happens elsewhere.
Meanwhile, the forum identified the forthcoming governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states as a litmus test to evaluate the outcomes of conversations as these. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Keyamo says African Aviation and Aerospace University, AAAU, will be the center of innovation and research development capable of addressing aviation gaps and boost economic viability of the sector. The minister stated this during the groundbreaking ceremony and maiden matriculation of the university. He added that the university was established as a center of excellence using a world-class curriculum in collaboration with international experts in aviation education from relevant institutions. It blended with theoretical knowledge and practical experience towards ensuring that the products of AAU are well prepared to tackle the challenges of the industry and beyond.
Addressing the human resource gap in the aviation sector. I have no doubt in my mind that this university is going to have a very solid foundation, and this has already started. You can clearly see the joy in the faces of our graduates. I congratulate all of you.
The minister expressed appreciation for the support of the president for approving the takeoff grant for the project to complement the budget provision made available for the university's development in the 2024 appropriation, and expressed confidence that the project will be completed within 48 hours. We shall now join our Kaduna Network Center, where Asmao is there to tell us what is happening in Kaduna and environs. Hello, Asmao.
And welcome to Kaduna. This is Salamatu. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has changed the students of Senior Course 46 of Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, to live by the rules of engagement at all time and ensure the territorial integrity of Nigeria and her interest. Haruna Muhammad reports that the Chief of Defense Staff gave the charge in a message to the regimental ceremony of Senior Course 46 of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji.
Course 46 of the Tri-Service, including allied forces from member countries, set to graduate from the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji. What the military consider as a privilege, one after the other, they engage the students as part of tradition of the college amidst joyful moments and exchange of pleasantries. A special guest of honor, flanked by the Commandant of the Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Jaji, Air Vice Marshal Hassan Alaji, and the General Officer Commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army, Major General David Saraso, take lead of the loyal toast to the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, represented by the Chief of Defense Policy and Plans, Air Vice Marshal Abraham Adole, admonished the mid-level commanders to ensure they keep the flag flying and uphold discipline, professionalism and loyalty, as well as the rules of engagement as the bedrock for which the armed forces stand for. He admonished the graduates to exhibit knowledge and skills learned in tackling the contemporary security challenges facing the country.
That as a commander and indeed as a member of the armed forces, you are required to be apolitical and neutral in your decision-making and actions. For us as military personnel and every well-meaning Nigerian, the nation comes first. We must at all times act in the interest of our country and not for personal gains.
It was fun-filled as the special guest of honor was presented with gifts as he commands the band. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
The Nigerian Customs Service has launched an advanced ruling system aimed at enhancing trade facilitation and creating a more transparent business environment. Zonal Coordinator Zone B, Sambo Dangaladima, says launching of the system in Kanu aligns with the policy directive of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration to facilitate trade for legitimate traders. Let's hear more from Awal Salisu.
Gathered in this hall are officers of the Nigerian Customs Service selected from Zone B and D undergoing training on provisions of advanced ruling system. It is a tool that allows traders obtain binding decisions from customs administrations on the classification, origin and valuation of goods before importation. The project will serve as a tool for reducing compliance costs and fostering a conducive business environment for traders. Zonal Coordinator Zone B, Sambadan Galadima, says the Nigerian Customs Service remain committed to leveraging innovative solutions and robust enforcement to drive economic growth and development.
Yes, it's enhanced to achieve legitimate trade facilitation because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to bring ease of doing business in business community. So he launched this and asked our CGC to launch it too at the same time.
It is a program designed or adopted by the service in response to the World Trade Organization's trade facilitation articles.
Different speakers highlighted the importance of this system in minimizing delay and cost associated with custom clearance. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
And that completes our package from here. Let's head back to Abuja studio to join Noleen again. Good evening, Noleen.
Good evening, Salamatu. Very well. Thank you very much. Now to Sokoto. Ensuring environmental hygiene and proper drug administration are critical in preventing children and other vulnerable groups from malaria infection. Governor Ahmed Aliu stated this while flagging off the 2024 Seasonal Malaria Chemo Prevention SMC at the Palace of District Head of Bodinga as a strategy of taking the campaign to the grassroots for effective coverage of eligible children. Bashir Ibrahim Nababa completes the report.
This year's campaign is targeting between 1.4 and 1.5 million children in Sokoto State. While acknowledging malaria as a major health challenge in Nigeria, Governor Ahmed Aliu described the campaign as a significant milestone in malaria prevention in Sokoto State and appeals for people's cooperation to health workers to achieve the desired outcome. Governor Aliu commended efforts of development partners in the fight against the killer disease.
Our healthcare workers have been trained to administer drugs safely and effectively.
Special advisor to the governor on Sokoto State Malaria Eradication Agency, Dr. Ibrahim Namadina, and other development partners emphasized that prevention is the most important measure children and pregnant women require against the disease.
Sokoto State Malaria Eradication Agency are coming with two innovations. EQA laboratory. Another innovation is to have a vehicle for mosquito spray.
State Commissioner for Health Abel Arab stated that the state government has provided all the needed facilities and solicits cooperation of parents and guardians. Program Manager Malaria Consortium Farouk Namalam solicits logistic support from Sokoto State government to reach all parts of the state. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar represented appeals to the World Health Organization and development partners to devise means of eradicating malaria in Nigeria. From Sokoto, Bashir Ibrahim Nababa, NTA News.
Forest-bearing communities in the 7 implementing states of REDD Plus project in Nigeria have been encouraged to exercise patience to benefit from the project with effective implementation of the outcome from our research work. This was at the Research Dissemination and Stakeholders Workshop by the Resource and Environmental Policy Research Center Environment for Development, University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in collaboration with REDD Plus Project, National Secretariat, Federal Ministry of Environment on REDD Plus project implementation in Nigeria. Paul Abel reports.
reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation, REDD+, is a climate change mitigation solution developed by parties to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change and the project, which is now 15 years in Nigeria.
This research will help direct the way future implementation will be designed so as to ensure that it makes impact on the forest communities.
The REDD+ is something to drive, and countries that have progressed, they have no regret. I'm happy that in our discussions, stakeholders are saying we must not stop here, and the call is for all of us.
At the end of the day, we can see the benefits that will accrue to the communities, to the state, and to the country.
We need to also give continuous monitoring to the livelihood that is being given to them, livelihood support that is being given to the forest dependent community, so that the sustainability will also be sure.
At least there is a renewed hope that REDD is real, just like that climate change is real, and the intervention is actually coming.
It is expected that the findings of this research, if adequately implemented, will boost impact of future interventions. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Thank you, Paul. And from Calabar, we take you to Makurdi, where the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, has charged project officers to be proficient in risk management, especially in the delivery of high-quality projects for the Nigerian Army. This was at the opening ceremony of the Project Management Workshop held at the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineering, Makurdi. Blessing Omeche Ebute reports that the Army Chief was represented by the Commander for Special Forces Command, Major General Hilary Nzang.
The Project Management Workshop, organized by the Nigerian Army Special Projects with the theme Promoting Innovation and Adaptability in Project Management in the Nigerian Army, is aimed at improving the capacity of participants on global best practices in project management through acquiring and applying modern skills in technology to ensure success in Nigerian Army projects.
It is essential, considering the evolving economic and environmental challenges threatening project execution in Nigeria. This informed the theme for the workshop, which is Promoting Innovation and Adaptability in Project Management in the Nigerian Army.
A strategic integration of technology in project management drives success, fosters innovation, and promotes sustainability. It is my belief that this workshop will offer a platform to assess and learn from current experiences to enable us to achieve better results in the future.
The 5-day workshop will feature several presentations, discussion sessions, and a demonstration in consonance with its theme and objective. From the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineering, Makurdi, I am Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
The Nasarawa state government has commenced electronic data profiling of all artisanal miners in the state to reduce restiveness around mining communities, as well as for effective regulation of mining operations in the state. The Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources, Kwantaya Kubu, said this while visiting some artisanal mining sites in Kokona local government area of the state. Bilkisu Gurku reports that during the visit, 2 Chinese nationals were arrested for illegal mining.
The state government had in 2023 set up an enforcement executive template with guidelines to identify all mining sites across the state with a view to checkmate all mining activities to entrench sanity, accountability and security. The initiative have continued to yield results with arrest and closure of many unregistered mining sites across 3 local government areas and arrest of over 109 illegal miners in the state. To further ensure strict adherence to the exercise, the Commissioner for Environment and Natural Resources visited a mining settlement at Rafingabas in Kokona local government area, a move to encourage host communities and stakeholders to operate on the same page.
We are mandated to check and verify
any mining entity coming to Nasarawa State without proper licenses and without following the due process will face appropriate sanctions.
Meanwhile, in a reaction to the recent call by the State House of Assembly on the need for the government to flush out illegal miners, the commissioner stressed the need for close collaboration and support from stakeholders. It could be recalled that Governor Abdullahi Saleh of Nasarawa State recently signed Executive Order 2 for the regulation of mining activities in the state. In Lafia, Bilkisu Umar Gurku, NTA News.
The federal government says its immediate agenda is directed at tackling the current food crisis in the country, with a focus on supporting the agricultural sector in the fight to reduce food prices. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Idun, gave the emphasis while updating the media on the country's economic journey and prospects in 2024. Neka Oko reports.
Nigeria's economy has faced significant headwinds in recent months, with concerns over inflation, escalating food prices, currency fluctuations, and impact of global factors. The urgency of the situation necessitates swift action, and the government acknowledges the need to move quickly.
Despite the difficulties, the economy in Nigeria grew faster in the first quarter of 2024 compared to 2023. Non-oil revenue was 68% higher than in the previous period.
To address the current food insecurity, the minister said governors have been provided with 20 trucks of rice per state, in addition to food reserves being released.
There's a strategic import program in the very short term, and that program involves bringing in agricultural raw materials for millers, for food processors, whether wheat, maize, even brown rice, which can be milled by the millers locally.
He described the current surge in inflation driven by the high cost of living as an anticipated consequence of the necessary economic reforms implemented by the present administration, which he said are crucial for the country's growth.
The debt of Nigeria is down in dollar terms, and it matters. We are an economy that earns dollars through oil revenue, and that is what the rating agencies and others do look at. The government has diligently serviced all its loans and obligations with no recourse to ways and means financing.
The minister is optimistic that the country will witness significant economic improvement with the faithful implementation of the Accelerated Stabilization and Advancement Plan. Neka Oko, NTA News.
Next is Sports Update.
Nigeria Super Falcons will compete against Brazil in their first game of the Women's Olympic Football Tournament. This initial clash will be a challenge for the Nigerian team as they face one of the tournament's strong contenders. Despite being 9-time African champions, they have not participated in the games for 16 years. Placed in a tough group with Spain, Japan, and Brazil, the team has a difficult task ahead of them.
I think the players are ready. They're up for it. I think they, it's a very difficult group, as we know, but I think they embrace the challenge. I think they want to play those teams.
84 Nigerian contingent is prepared to represent their country at the upcoming Paris Olympics, which is set to commence on Friday. The team will partake in various events, including athletics, badminton, boxing, canoeing, cycling, taekwondo, table tennis, wrestling, weightlifting, and swimming. And finally, table tennis competition of the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Nigeria will begin their pursuit of medals with Quadri Aruna playing against Romania Edward Ionescu on Saturday. Aruna will compete against Ionescu in the first round of the men's singles event. The pairing was determined through the draw that took place on Wednesday. With sports updates, Ijoma Pitawante, NTA News.
Ijoma's sports story concludes Nationwide today. Thank you for watching. I am Noleen Abel-Ameh. Good evening.
The most